السيد علي. I'd like to welcome you all aboard of our journey of how to learn more about educational technologies. This is your presenter and SIG coordinator, Salwa Muhammad. And I'd like to be your host for today's session. Today's agenda is about, the first part is about the importance of enhancing writing skills, and this will take like 15 minutes, hopefully. And the second part is about apps and websites for enhancing English language writing skills, which will take 25 minutes again, hopefully. It all depends on your participation, of course. Well, the objectives of today's session is that by the end of this session, participants will be able to recognize the importance of using technology in enhancing students' writing skills, explore the available features of the Microsoft Office Word software, evaluate working on a collaborative writing project using Google Docs, and finally, use available online resources and tools for teaching writing. Let's ask ourselves this question. Is writing a product or a process? I'm not talking about approaches here. I'm talking generally about writing. Is it a process or a product? Please use the chat box to answer this question. Most people say it's both. Process. Okay, both. Okay, it's a product that needs a process. Okay, both product. Okay, so the majority of you says that say that it's both, and a minority says that it's a product, and the rest say that it's a process. Well, let's see together about that. As you can see from this table, it's mainly a process. You see, there are three critical aspects of writing. The first is register variation, language styles determined by social context, purpose, and audience. And the other aspect is that it's a process orientation task, because you have here using suitable vocabulary and grammar, shaping ideas, arguing, persuading, editing, reviewing, in order to get to the final product. And the third aspect is that it has an interpersonal function, because students are being exposed to authentic text that they are going to use in their lives, and they are presenting identity, and they are communicating together, especially when it comes to collaborative writing. And let's ask ourselves here this question: what to focus on, both as teachers and as students? Could you use the chat box for answering this question? If I'm a teacher, or if I'm a student, what do I need to focus on when I'm doing a writing task, for example, or a writing project? So what do you need to pay attention to when you are doing a writing task? The steps of writing process, Mish. Okay, what else? Brainstorming, steps of writing, rubrics, outline, vocabulary and grammar. Thank you. This is one of them. Involving my students in the process. Ideas, excellent, Ms. Asma. Okay, what else? Punctuation, excellent. Using grammar and vocabulary well. Okay, coherence of ideas, excellent. Storyline, mind mapping. Okay. Word choice, okay. Cohesion, okay. Monsieur Amgad. The features of the genre, okay. Excellent. Ideas, very good. Sentence structure, thank you, Ms. Yusra. Ideas, planning, grammar, spelling, editing, Mr. Mohammed, thank you. Okay, Ms. Manel, topic is appropriate or not? Excellent. Ideas expressing themselves. Okay, that's very nice of you. Great. As you can see here from this diagram, what to focus on, the appropriate vocabulary the students are going to use, the grammatical and syntactic accuracy, correct spelling and punctuation, cohesive development of ideas, content organization. So more or less, it's the same thing as you have mentioned, but only in different vocabulary. Excellent work. So how can technology help? Can you use the chat box to answer this question? How do you think technology could help teachers to teach writing skills and to make students brilliant at writing? Okay, Ms. Azza Arafa says expressing themselves. You mean the students? Okay. Okay. Using AI, Ms. Maryam Farid. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, Ms. Azza says generate ideas. Excellent. Correcting mistakes. Excellent, Mr. Haytham. Okay. Ms. Yusra says giving personalized feedback. Excellent. Ms. Amira says correcting. Ms. Jamila says, can you recap the first slide? Oh, perhaps at the end. Okay. Using graphic organizers. Okay. Having resources for ideas. Thank you, Ms. Marwa. Mr. Muhammad says, provide them with practice opportunities. Excellent. Ms. Asma says, watching videos about the topic. Okay, we'll discuss that later on. Design maps. Okay, for brainstorming from Zoom user. It's not. Please have your names written on the Zoom account. Ms. Azaraf says, correct their work. Okay. Ms. Abir says, engaging students. Excellent. Using AI samples from Ms. Rasha Farouk. Very good. I think Yogesh Kumar, if I am pronouncing it correctly. Non-coercive. Okay. Ms. Yusra says, technology is the gate to their minds. Okay. Spelling and grammar checking. Excellent. Using drawings. Okay. In writing. Checking grammar and spelling, using videos and Microsoft, okay. Gives ideas to write about, okay. Ms. Samia says using technology, okay. Ms. Rama Rustum, okay. We can make them try certain forms and structures on AI and check whether it's correct or not. Thank you. You are predicting some of the parts of the session. Excellent. Mariam Farid says correct grammar mistake. Ms. Jamila says providing more information. Ms. Yara Amgad, videos to have ideas. Okay. Ms. Nahla says discussion and videos. And Ms. Rama Rustum says through games. Ms. Mariam Farid says designing diagrams, having more self-confidence by Ms. Jamila. Ms. Asma says using mind maps. Ms. Yusra says facilitate that process. Excellent. If we keep going on, you have so much ideas, which is very wonderful, actually. Could the coordinators take screenshots of the presentation? Because I am busy with the screen sharing. Ms. Azza and Mr. Ale, could you take screenshots of the presentation? Now, let's ask ourselves again this question. How can technology help? We have 4 aspects here to deal with. First of all, social media, Office Word, online collaborative writing, and apps and websites that could be used in the process. Let's take each part and see how it could help in enhancing the students' writing skills. The first one is social media. We will take, because of the time of the Zoom app, we will take just a sample or an example of each of those 4 big aspects, okay? So social media, we have lots of famous apps and websites that your students are familiar with and can easily use. For example, you have Instagram, Snapchat, Reddit, we have TikTok, Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitch. You can see the screen is filled with so many apps that your students are very familiar with and they can use for practice their writing skills, especially if it's a bit informal or something about their own feelings or expressing themselves. And let's take Google Blogger as an example of how to teach students to express themselves or to talk directly in like a business form. The first step, show your students a travel blog and a travel agency website. And ask your students to compare and contrast to learn more about the different genres of writing, what we call genre analysis. Genre analysis meaning to differentiate between the different types of or styles of writing. For example, you can teach them using a set of questions for guidance, like who do you think, which type of the two sites you expresses or describes the place from an objective point of view, and which one uses an subjective point of view. Which one uses an informal or friendly language? Which one of them talks about personal experience? And the students could use these guiding questions to know the difference between the different styles of writing. You can also teach the students about citing resources. If they use the picture or if they use the site, they can know how to cite them in their own masterpiece of writing, whatever it is, if it's a letter or an article in a magazine or a blog or whatever it is. And finally, of course, ask them to start the process of writing their own blogs and sharing the links with you as their teacher on their class social media group, for example, Facebook or WhatsApp. So this is how students could differentiate between the different styles of writing. They can know how to express themselves on, social media apps and websites. And it's very useful and it's fun, and they are like imitating, adults or mature people who travel around the world. They can talk about their own experience or about a vacation that they had fun with, or a bad experience that they went through, and so on. On the second aspect, or the second part that we're dealing with, is Office Word. And as you can see from the screen, you have different free alternatives to Microsoft Word, like, for example, SoftMaker Free Office and Only Office and Zoho Docs, and LibreOffice, Google Docs, which we'll deal about in collaborative writing. And you have also XPS Office and Atomic Scribbler. You have different websites that you can use, but we are going to use the most famous one among them, which is Microsoft Word, because Egyptian students, as you know, and I think the students in the Gulf area, have a free access to Microsoft Office. So they can easily use Microsoft Word. And as we said, we're going to take only one example, and in this case, it's Office Word. If you have a Word document, you can create it, edit it, save it, print it. You can upload it to your Google Drive or the OneDrive if you have an access to Microsoft Office, especially 365. And this is what we call word processing. So you can adapt that text that you're using. And if your student keeps telling you that I forgot my homework, طب تعال حبيبي, come here, my kid, and show me the link to your drive where he can upload whatever task he is asked to deliver or submit, and you can see it online and he can print it anywhere. So he won't have any, saying that I forgot my homework and he actually didn't do it. You will know. So with Word, it's very easy, especially when you wish to show them or make them exposed to different styles of writing. They can use blank documents at first, or it's easier to use free designed template. Like, for example, talking about a story or journals or making a formal letter. So at the beginning of your writing task that you're going to give to your own students, make them use the templates at first. And when they are getting accustomed and used to them, then they can use the blank document and, start styling their own text the way they wish to from scratch. Okay, producing models of templates. Thank you. Okay, so we have the template that they can use. And then after that, we have so many features in Word Office. For example, they can upload them by just clicking auto save. And if they are signed into their account, whether it's on Microsoft Office or for example, Google Drive, they can upload whatever they are having immediately online. So they can have access to it from many different devices as long as they know their password and the email they are using. They can also use something called dictation or dictate. With dictate, if they are busy doing anything and if they are incapable of using the keyboard quickly, they can just dictate whatever ideas comes to their mind and put it on the word. The PC will, or the telephone would, start typing automatically. And the funny thing is, the better their pronunciation is and the more accurate it will be, the better and more accurate the writing would be on the word file. So this is actually like both a practice of writing and pronunciation at the same time. You can also have the word count, because sometimes we have, like in the secondary stage, we ask our students to write, let's say, a composition that consists of like 180 words, or for example. So after they finish writing, they can easily click on the search tab over there at the very top of the page, and they could use from the drop-down menu word count, and they could know the number of characters with and without spaces, the words, the pages, the lines, and so on. If they made a mistake while writing, they can use the spelling and grammar checker, okay? They can also use the reviewing mode. In the reviewing mode, they have this something called editor, where they can know the mistakes they have done, and whether it's spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, or pronunciation mistakes, they can all appear on their, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, your voice is so clear.
Okay,
Yes,
would
we
you,
heard you. Yes.
I'm sure I made okay, could you turn off the mics again? Okay. Thank you. Back to you. Okay, they can know the number of spelling mistakes they have done, the number of grammatical mistakes they've done, though it's not that, great when it comes to grammatical mistakes. Spelling, yes, it's easy. And most of the time, punctuation as well. But when it comes to grammatical mistakes, you cannot depend like 100% on Word. But it will, it will pay their attention to the most, famous mistakes, or, commonly known mistakes in the Word doc. Let's say the student had a mistake and it was underlined like the word FOT, F-O-T. So the computer is going to give him, or the editor is going to give some consideration about correcting this mistake. Like, for example, using the word foot, or the word for, or the word fit. And as you can see, the meaning of each word is written just under each word. So the student can, be responsible for making the decision of using the most suitable word. Some of you may say this would make the students dependent on, on Word, and they are not going to learn anything, and they are not going to correct themselves, and they get it so easy. But mind you, if they keep seeing the correction of the things that they keep doing so many times, they will remember this mistake, and they will remember how to correct it. So in a way, it's like a subconscious sort of way of learning. Okay, and here is another example of having a punctuation mistake that appears in the word, because the students sometimes forget, using full stop at the end of the words. And what is considered to be another pro in using Microsoft Word is that when you do the reviewing part, if you wrote a draft and you wish to revise it again before submitting it to the teacher, and you're using your pencil and your paper, sometimes you miss finding some of the mistakes that you made. due to lack of concentration and so on. But when it comes to Word, if you have a spelling mistake or a punctuation mistake, it will appear immediately while you're typing your text. Let me look at the chat because someone wrote something. Produce models or templates, facilitating that process. Okay. Collaborative work is the next stop, inshallah. Okay, thank you, Azza. Make students motivated. Yes, exactly. Because they keep finding the mistakes they have, so and they are able to correct them. So this is actually something that is wonderful and easy for them to deal with. Now, coming to one of the greatest way of how technology could help teachers improve their students' writing skills. We have something called online collaborative writing. And you have so many examples of how to deal with them. You have like Google Docs, Etherpad, Trello, Scrivener, Dropbox Paper. You have Notion, Pinflip, Microsoft, Asana. Well, you have so many, but again, we're going to deal with only one example that is suitable for all our students, and they are familiar and accustomed with, which is Google Docs. Google Docs is free. As long as you have a Gmail, then you have it. Just download it and you have it on your phone, or use the website directly. Go to your Drive and then click on the word New. And then you'll get a drop-down menu from which you decide what type of file you wish to have, whether it's Google Slides or Google Docs or whatever. So in this case, we'll deal with Google Docs. Again, you have blank document and you have design templates. So if I'm going to give my students an assignment called, for example, writing a formal letter, and they wish to know how to exactly write it, the amount of spaces that they are going to leave, which line to write on, and where to put the address, and where to put the person that you are addressing, and where to put your signature and everything. In this case, it's better to use, for example, something that is already a template. You have also different types of resume. You have project proposals, brochures, reports, and you have so many that you can pick up from, and you have so many designs that you could choose. So it's even fun to create a Google Doc. After choosing it, let's say a formal letter, you start giving the name or the title of this task. For example, formal letter writing task. Okay. And then, of course, as anything that you give to your own students, you have to make so many like jobs for each group, so that each and every one of them knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So as a teacher, you make the task and you make the jobs or the assignments for each and every member. He has his own work to do. And after that, you divide your students, of course. Let's say if you have, for example, let's talk about big classes. If you have like a class that consists of 100 students, so all you are going to deal with is 10 groups, for example, and each group is like 10, has like 10 members. And each member is supposed to do something, like we have someone to create the task, another person to find resources or different templates, another person is responsible for writing the first paragraph, another for the second, another for the third. Someone is responsible for using an app like Grammarly to check the mistakes and everything. The whole group is responsible for the final touch of the whole letter and how it would look like at the end. And what's so amazing and brilliant about using such documents like Google, apps like or websites like Google Documents, is that you can watch your students doing the work. As you can see in this picture, I was working with a colleague from Kuwait doing a task. And as you can see here, you keep, choosing the parts that you feel that could be, modified in order to be more suitable, more formal, less formal, and so on. And it's easy that the students can, accept or reject these suggestions. And as you can see here, as a teacher, if I logged into this this letter, because each group should send the link to their letter through, for example, let's say WhatsApp or Facebook group. Each class has a group, and they can use it to send the links. So what we're having here is that the teacher can see who is exactly working in this group and who is not, who is lazy and who's active, who's doing the work and who's not doing the work, and if the group is working in harmony or if there are some, you know, issues among them. So what this is brilliant. You can do this, and you can only like correct, for example, or give the marks for like 10 tasks for a whole class that consists of 100 students. And after the task, you can ask your students to give their own reflection about the whole group work and their personal experience. So you are actually doing like doing two things in one task. Can give the students the chance to express themselves personally and the chance to work collaboratively with others. I've tried this. It's amazing, actually. No, Miss Ines, it's Google Docs, but you can do the same thing with Microsoft Word. If your students have access to Microsoft Word applications, for example, have access to OneDrive. If they have access to OneDrive, they can do the same collaborative work using Microsoft Word. If they don't, if they were, for example, let's say students of international schools might not have access to it. So they can use Google Docs because it's free. Even if you don't yourself, if you're a teacher in a private school, you can have access to Google Docs. It's free, as I mentioned before. It's free as long as you have a Google account. So you can do lots of work in less time, and you can watch your students' attitudes, and you can watch their work, and you can know if they are doing the work or not, if they are, you know, if they are carrying, if sometimes one student is doing the whole work and the rest of the group is not doing anything. So if you use something like this, you can have access to their work. You can see who did the task and who didn't, and you can also help them and provide scaffolding if they need any help, because you are reading their own comments. So we're running out of time. We have like let's say 8 minutes. So if it closes, please click again on the same link and you will be back. Okay? Did you get that? Click on the same link again and you will be in the meeting again. Okay? We don't have much. We will finish soon, inshallah. Okay. How to download a Google Docs. Okay, now your students have done the work and they have finished everything, and you wish to give you a hard copy that is printed, for example. All they have to do is click on the word file from the list and then choose download from the drop-down menu. After that, they could decide which type of file they wish to have. For example, they could save it as Microsoft Word. They could save it as a PDF file or an EPUB publication file if they have like iPad, for example, or iPhones, rich kids. Anyway. Then they have it downloaded on their own device, and from that they can do the same process that they did with Microsoft Word, from printing or sending online or whatever. They can also share the link with you as their teacher without printing. They have so many options that they can use. Now let's go to the final part here or the final aspect about how technology could help teachers and students in enhancing writing skills. We have here the best grammar AI writing tools list. The first one, or the most famous one among them, is Grammarly. We have Pro Writing AI, Hemingway Editor, Ginger, and White Smoke. Now, let's ask these two questions. Have you tried any of those apps, and how was your experience? Again, use the chat box, and I'm going to read your replies. Okay. Oh, Grammarly is free. I have it on my phone and I don't pay anything. But the problem is you have extra features, of course. And in order to get to these extra features, you will have to pay, as anything that is related to AI. Okay, Mr. Mohammed Hamid. So it is free. Grammarly is free. I have it on my phone and it's free. I don't pay anything. I don't actually use any apps that cost me money, neither for myself nor for my students. Okay, have any of you tried these apps? Any of them? And how was your experience? Use the chat box to write. Okay, Mr. Ale, kindly don't forget to fill out the attendance form that will be shared. Okay, thank you. Okay, now Ms. Yusra says, how the teacher will figure the lazy student out again, please. Okay, because this part is already done. Okay, because you can watch the comments of the students. You can watch or read their suggestions. Okay, when you read their suggestions, their email accounts are written next to them. Ask them to log in their Google accounts so that you can see the names of the people doing the tasks. Okay, now Miss Ines says, is the session recorded? Hopefully, I did click on recording the session. So hopefully it will be recorded. Miss Omnia says yes. Okay, Miss Omnia Mohammed, you said yes. Could you elaborate more? Miss Manar Al Jafar, where can I get the recording session? On our Facebook group. Okay, could the moderators, could you answer these questions? Because I need to answer the questions that are related to the assignment here. Okay, yep. Okay, Miss Yusra and Miss Umnia Mohammed, you said okay, you said yes. Okay, Miss Amira used Grammarly finally. Miss Rama Rustum said, I have tried Grammarly and it was really helpful. Thank you. It is the same for me too. Okay, Miss Rana Samir says, yes, I use Grammarly. Yeah. Mr. Ahmed Samir says, yes, I use Grammarly and it was very useful for my writing. You used it for your own experience as a teacher. Excellent. Ms. Yusra says, I have used Grammarly and Ginger too. Excellent. I haven't used Ginger yet. I've used Grammarly. Okay, so many people said it was very helpful. Someone said, okay, Mr. Mohammed Hamid said, I tried ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini. Okay, these are mainly AI tools, but we're talking about something that is specific related to grammar. Okay, you used it for grammar. Okay. Ms. Yusra says, GPT for sure, the best choice. Okay, Ms. Nahla, I don't use any, but I will try them. Okay. Mr. Dia is okay, sharing a link. Ms. Azza shared the membership form. So if you wish to know about our, events and any news about related to LT6, you need to click on the Facebook group to join it, and the WhatsApp group. Also, if you filled in the membership form, by the end, when you submit it, you will find the links to these two groups, the WhatsApp group and the Facebook group. Okay, someone used Grammarly, someone used, okay, Miss Asma Zaki said, what a beneficial session, thanks a bunch. It hasn't finished yet, wait till the end because there is a part about the coming up events, because as members, some of you will be the ones presenting it, inshallah, in July. Okay. Okay. Mr. Ala Gamal, okay, he uploaded the link to the Facebook page. So let's go on and continue. How can grammar AI writing tools help eliminate grammar and spelling mistakes? Well, as you can see here, the first thing is that grammar error detection. They detect the mistakes that you do as a student, okay? And then you have the spelling mistake correction. So if there is a mistake, it will find it, and then it will give you the correction. You have also contextual understanding. It gives you an explanation why this is a mistake and why it's better to correct it using so and so. You have also rule-based checking because, again, you are revising the rules, whether it's grammatical or related to context or vocabulary. You have multilingual support. So all of these are benefits given to you by these AI grammar learning tools. And as we said, we have Grammarly, which is the most famous one among them. Where can I use Grammarly? You can use it on social media. You can use it when you write emails. You can use it when you write, for example, a composition for the school assignment. You can use it just for, the sake of learning more about vocabulary and how to use grammar correctly. How can I use it? First of all, you go to the App Store or Apple Store or the one for Android, which is Play Store. And then you can download the app on your phone, on your PC, whatever the device is. After you download it, you have to set your goals. And this is very important, guys, because you need to specify the audience you're having, the amount of formality, whether it's informal, natural, or formal, the domain you're using, for example, academic, business, general, technical, casual, or creative, the tone that you're dealing with, for example, neutral, confident, natural, confident, joyful, optimistic, and so on, friendly, urgent, analytical, respectful. You have the intent with it, for example, like describing something or convincing someone or telling a story and so on. But I need to pay your attention to something that is important. Can you see the very small box down there at the very end of the page towards the right, on your right hand? You have a small selection box there that you need to select. This means that each and every time you have a new document, you need to set your goals. So sometimes you're writing a formal letter, and I'm sure it would be different from writing a friendly email or an informal blog on social media. So each time you're having a new document, you need to set your goals all over again. And then, of course, you click on done. So far, so good. Now, how to use it again? After you set your goals, you start typing or writing whatever you wish to write, or you can have it as a copy-paste thing, and then let the magic begin.